Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
Welcome to Gas Masks and Hand Grenades. I'm your host, Jeff, and today I am joined by Mr. Matt. Can you say your last name? Because I've heard it pronounced a couple. Is it McGachy?
It's Gacky. It's like a hard. It's a K sound. Matt McGachy.
I've heard like three. Gacy, Gachy. Okay, so yeah. So there's that.
My Scottish father, who's actually Irish.
Irish. Matt, thanks for joining me, man.
Jeff, happy to be here. Happy to hang out with you. I was like looking at the intro, and I'm like, "That's my friend. That's my friend."
Yeah, you know all those. A lot of those dudes, right? Yeah, those are victims. I call them victims, hostages. You know, you know the podcasting game. We'll get into that. So you're very familiar with what I'm talking about.
Comfortable sitting right here.
Right. So, two things I note. Number one, your hair is down. The hair is there. Okay.
For that, we spoke about that.
Did you bring the brush?
I did, but I put it away. I forgot when.
All right. Because we were going to brush simultaneously.
I did brush it though. I actually got a haircut.
That's a great leadoff. I want to start there because when's the last time you had a haircut? You just got a haircut.
I got a week ago, and before that. Well, I've been growing my hair since 2002, right? So
2002, okay.
Is when I started growing my hair. I had joined my first Montreal-based metal band, 3 Mile Scream, and I had just had like the worst haircut. And when I showed up to that band's like audition, first time I tried out for them, I was wearing like a little fisherman's hat, and the guitarist of that band, Alex Dellis, whom I love, looked at the bassist and I was like, "This is the guy. This is the guy in the little fisherman hat." Anyways, they convinced me to grow my hair out. And that was in 2002. And then from 2002 until now, I've probably cut my hair, I want to say definitely under 5 times. I can't remember exactly. I know that I got a haircut in 2022, and it was ridiculously long at that point.
Was it past your ass? Like down?
Oh yeah, it was like really down. Like I walked into like this little this like older woman was the hairdresser near my house, and she thought I was joking. She thought I had like a fake
wig
or something, because I would wear a hoodie and I had like a tail, you know?
Yeah.
Stick out of the butt, like with my hair inside the hoodie. That's typically when my wife sees it get to that level and the tail appears. She's like, it's time to get a haircut. Yeah,
how to get a good.
But we've been touring so much over the past few years, since 2023, since As Gomorrah Burns. I feel like my hair is going through more damage and getting destroyed a bit more from just headbanging so much and it getting all tangled up and getting caught on things in venues, because my hair would get caught like if it's a low ceiling room, which happens sometimes, my hair would get caught in like wires or nails or Chris's guitar head. So I went this past last week. I went and got a haircut, and the hairdresser took pictures and like shared it with like all of her like hairdresser friends.
Yeah.
Because we're anomalies, I guess.
Well, mine's not nearly as long as yours. It's down past my boobs. It's down about.
That's why I'm sitting right now. I'm sure that people are gonna say stuff.
And to be very honest with you,
that's like, you cut your hair.
Yeah, I got 3 inches off recently, and April, I want to say, and because it was just getting, the ends were just so trashed, and also I think the older you get, depending on, I guess, what your budget is for hair care products, you know, I'm not a rich guy, so I just use whatever mostly.
Nothing.
Yeah, I use conditioner and shampoo, but it's. And they say you shouldn't do it every single day, but I generally typically want a bath. I typically like the shower. I'm a clean dude. And so I got a bunch cut off. And I will tell you this, man, that I think I would struggle with it being your length, because I am a side sleeper and I turn a lot at night. And I'm always this.
Moving around, yeah.
And then I wake up in the morning and I just brushed my hair before we went live. And it took me easily 6 or 7 minutes. For you, it's got to take like 25 minutes.
No, it's not so bad, but this is what my wife is trying to get through my thick skull, is that if you cut it once a year, it's easier to brush. But I do remember brushing my hair before that 2022 haircut that I got done, and it took me probably 30 plus minutes.
No
it was
shit.
just destroyed, and just so like little dreads and stuff was forming.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't getting through it all. But I think I'm just going to keep it at this level and cut it once a year. It feels nicer. I do tie it up a lot. I tend to only really have it down either when I'm really intoxicated at a bar. If you
Start
see
a show.
my hair's down, you know that I'm ready for partying,
ready to
or
rock and roll.
for the show. Or on stage is really those two times that I have it down. Day-to-day life, it's always tied up.
All right, we just got 6 minutes out of our hair. That's awesome, man. I mean, come on, this is gripping goddamn content right here. So.
And I literally do nothing with my hair. I was like, I have more to say.
I could do another 4 minutes, I believe. But let's move on to the new album first, Insatiable Violence, which came out in late June, I believe.
Yes,
correct?
It is sensational.
Yeah.
No, we're really happy. It feels like it just came out yesterday, but it's basically been out for 2 months at this point.
How's it doing for you?
Super happy with the response that it received.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, when you create something, you're so close to it, you're always wary as to what other people are going to think about it. Mm-hmm. I remember being in the studio with Chris because we recorded everything in we wrote it in a short period of time. We recorded it in a very condensed period right before Christmas, and I was tracking vocals, and Chris was like, is this even good? Because we were just so close to it. Luckily, it seems to be resonating with people. We leaned heavily into honoring the legacy of Cryptopsy and looking back at what worked in the past for the band and tried to emulate, tried to honor those aspects of groove elements that were far more present on None So Vile, Blasphemy Made Flesh, and then tried to drag those into a more modern death metal sound by including more melancholy, darkness, not black metal, because a lot of death metal bands have been mixing death metal and black metal to create this new modern sound that's coming out. A lot of bands have been doing that, and that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring a more dirtiness to death metal, bringing it into a darker, more somber place. A lower malaise is the word I like to say, like a neurosis feeling, a feeling of dirtiness, of having to take a bath after you hear something, is what we wanted to bring into
so that's what I was feeling. I need to go take a bath. That was it. Well, I'm going to come clean here. I don't know what Will told you. Will and I talk all the time because we're working on getting this person or that person. You know that because you're you're a podcaster, but maybe an ex-podcaster or a semi-retired podcaster. We'll get to that in a minute here. But so you know what? You know the struggle when you're trying to pull some guy in that you want to talk to, and then there's others that I'm not very good at the promo deal, the promo cast. I'm kind of more of I look at it more like you and I met at a bar and we're sitting next to each other and we're having a beer and
chat. And then,
you're wearing a Maiden shirt and I'm wearing a Priest shirt. We're like, dude, we got to talk. That kind of thing. I like that too. Yeah,
that was the basis of my podcast, which we'll get to.
Right. Vox and hops. Right. But I did want to get back to being totally transparent here, okay? Because we live in days of transparency, as you know, all around the world, right?
Everything is exposed and everyone knows.
Yeah, right.
There's no more mystique. Yeah. And then any band that has a little bit of mystique around them becomes really popular.
Right. Well, I was actually making a joke about politics there in the United States. We're super transparent here, but
okay. I was talking about sleep talking.
So here's the thing. I remember listening to Cryptopsy's None So Vile many years ago because I'm an old dude, man. I'm pushing 60 next year. So been around, been in the metal game a long, long time. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I fucking hated it. I just was like, what is this, man? Like
what was it about that threw you off?
Well, okay, my entry into death metal, you know, I came through new wave of British heavy metal in high school. That was happening as I was happening, right, as a teenager. And then I get to thrash, and then we get to, you know, Bathory and Venom and those kind of bands, right? And they're kind of, the intensity's getting more extreme and whatnot. But there was always, to me, there was always an element of melody there that I had to have. I have to have melody, which, by the way, side tangent, the new album has quite a bit of melody in it.
Yes.
I'd never heard that in None So Vile when I first listened to it. However, I went back last night and was like, all right, I need to listen to this to do an A-B thing, right? Because Will loves you guys, and he's like, you got to check this album out. And I checked the album out very briefly back in May or I'm sorry, in June, but I was very sick. You know, I was going through this EBV thing we talked about. And I'm like, yeah, it's too frenetic for me, man. Too much drumming. This guy is an insane drummer, but it's too fucking much. And there is a little bit of element of that that's difficult for me to get around, because my entry into death metal was Opeth, and Atheist, and the Florida death metal bands, Cynic, and those bands. And there's a lot of melody in there, right? I didn't hear that in None So Vile the first time I tried it and went, ugh, okay. And Lord Worm, man, I mean, bless his heart, it's an acquired taste for me. Is that fair statement?
I can say that when I first tried out for Cryptopsy,
tell the story, because
I had to learn songs, obviously,
right? Yeah.
To go and perform afterwards once I was in the band, and I had Lord Worm era tracks that I had to learn, and there was Mike DeSalvo era tracks also in the set list, and I found myself gravitating towards learning Mike DeSalvo's songs first because it was more comprehensible. Lord Worm is an entity, and especially on None So Vile, his performance is just so feral that, and the lyrics just don't make sense because they don't.
You can't really hear him. You don't know what he's saying.
They don't. Like, as I've been learning and performing his songs for so many years, and we went back and did it for MDF. We did Blasphemy Made Flesh in its entirety last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I was there, and
cool.
I couldn't figure out why I missed you guys. And then I went and looked at the lineups. And I remember why.
I can't remember who we were playing against.
I went to see Sin Mara, the black metal band from New Zealand.
Maybe I'm not aware.
One of those two, really, and it was because I had my friend had said, you got to check this Sin Mara band out before we went to MDF, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna get to hear them again. Cryptopsy tours a lot. I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks in Lidditz, Lidditz, Pennsylvania. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's an acquired taste for, and the only thing I kept thinking,
I'm sorry, I was going to say though, but then I after doing that album and really digesting the songs over the years, I can understand his lyrics, and they do actually fall and fit much more than I ever thought that they did.
Okay, gotcha. I kept thinking of the first time I listened to Cannibal and Eaten Back to Life, and those first couple Chris Barnes albums where you don't have a fucking clue what he's saying. I mean, you just
would imagine I don't. Heavy influence that leaked over from that. I imagine Lord Worm had heavy influence.
I wonder a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Do you guys know each other? Have you?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he comes out. We drink beer.
Oh, nice.
He's wonderful. All of the Cryptopsy singers were super tight. Are super tight. Just Martin sadly passed away last year.
And I saw, and I forgot about this, but my good buddy Dan Mongram was in Cryptopsy for a little bit, and I love that guy. He's the best,
he's awesome.
man.
Yeah,
he's so killer. And of course, Voivod, the legends.
Yeah.
You know, we
don't Forbidden now. He's doing it.
Yeah, and now he's in Forbidden too with my buddy Craig. So, so this album, the one thing that I did note, as I said, was that there was a good bit of melody in there, and I can understand what you were saying. So as I said to Will, this is exactly what I said to him. Listen, I don't hate this album, but I'm not sure I love it either, because it's hard for me to put my finger on exactly what it is that isn't fully clicking for me. Maybe it's because I'm more of a melody guy, and that's where I gravitate towards with my death metal. But
there's definitely a lot of frenzied moments in Cryptopsy for sure.
Well, this set, I got 3 listens in on it, right? And by the 3rd listen, I was like, oh, I'm picking parts out that I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool there. That's pretty cool there. I like that riff. I didn't notice that the first time around. The one ever-present sort of thing, though, with Cryptopsy is flow.
He's the OG.
He's the alpha in the mix and in the band. Not that he overrides everything, but it's impossible not to be exhausted after 33 minutes of listening to him play.
Which is why we keep it so short too, because the songs are and Then You'll Beg is something that I think that in retrospect that the band, I wasn't on the record, but there's far too many tracks and the songs are it's too long and it's hard to digest in one listen because it's just so intense. So
it's an assault. It's kind of
a nonstop. So like a 32 to 35 minute is the sweet spot that we always aim for when creating music, because we do know and we do want a listener to sit down for an album, which is something that doesn't happen as often nowadays because of the streaming world. But if you do digest it in one sitting, it's enough to be fulfilled and it's not exhausting. So that's the aspect that we wanted to do with that. And Flo, obviously, he's the OG. He's constantly pushing himself. 51 years old now, playing better than ever. The guys and then I myself, we've been jamming. We're so ready for this tour coming up with Nile that kicks off in a week, just about. Well,
let's
the drum. It's going to be a drum clinic every night. It's extreme metal.
Because you got him and fucking
George. Come on, it's going to be.
Holy hell, man. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, on the 19th, Friday, I believe it is, you're playing at Lidditz at Mickey's Black Box, and you're going to like that venue. It is, in fact, I was looking back a little ways, and it's part of the Clare Brothers Tate Towers group, if you know what that is.
No, I don't know what that is. Yeah.
So Clare Brothers started in the 70s, maybe even the late 60s, and they do sound systems for Metallica, for Rush, for everyone, Aerosmith. And Mickey's Black Box, the venue, was created sort of as a rehearsal space for bands that come in. Like Metallica was in here whenever they went out on the tour. They were in here for a week.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I have a buddy that works here. He's like, hey, man, guess who's here? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. You're not going to let me up there to see him anyway, so it doesn't matter, you know.
That's exciting.
That's
good to hear. That's good to hear. This tour is interesting because we're doing a bunch of cities that we haven't done before, or at least I haven't done before. So it's an interesting experience to be in like new places. It's always like comforting to be at places you've already been at.
When you guys come in, you're gonna be, when you go to Mickey's, you're gonna be like, man, we're in bumfuck Egypt. Like, what is going on here? You know? But I'm telling you right now, it might be the state of the art venue that you play. It is good. I mean, they literally have seats that come up out of the floor, like a seating thing out of the floor. Huge stage, extreme open. Good. I'm excited. Visuals, the whole 9 yards, and a fucking banging sound system.
Good.
The sound system there is
no dB limit. Let's just rip it out.
Well, I don't know about that, but but here's the thing. I was digging around a little bit. I saw Brother Kane. I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope.
They were kind of like a late 80s, early 90s band. The guitarist, who now I'm forgetting his fucking name. He plays in Lynyrd Skynyrd. They're not Southern rock. They're more alternative heavy rock, like early 2000s, late 90s. Saw them there, and I swear I saw somebody else there, but I can't remember who it was. I'm almost certain you guys might be the first extreme metal package that's come
through there. Oh, very cool. We're gonna
so hopefully people travel in,
and hopefully people come out and enjoy the show, so that other extreme metal packages can come through again.
It's a big venue too. I want to say, I'd have to look it up, but I want to say 1,200 maybe.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
Come
So
to the show, people. It's going to look weird if you're not there.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully we get to share a beer and hang out a
For
little
sure.
bit.
That's exactly what I do.
I know Will's not going to be there because he has a wedding, but I know Frank is going to be there. I believe.
Nice.
So, talk about that tour. You've done a lot of touring lately, and let's go back before we get to the Nile tour. Was it late last year you were out with Atheist, and was that in Europe?
Early this year we went to Latin America with Atheist, and then a year before that we did Europe with Atheist.
That was okay. So it was a year before that. Yeah. How'd those tours go for you?
They were great. It was it's like always a pleasure to be on tour with Atheist because Kelly Schaefer's the man. He's super cool.
Great people. Jerry,
funny. He's got all the stories. Kelly, the history.
Oh God,
always just interesting to just sit back and pick his. He knows everyone basically and has done everything. So it's just fun to ask him questions and he loves to talk about it. So it's I'm happy, he's happy. We always have a great time. And then like his lineup is just incredible. The band.
Jerry and Alex, man, they're my bros, man. Those guys are so awesome. And then Yoav is just like
killer.
And then whirling dervish of movement. You're like, what the fuck?
And then when you travel a lot, like especially we did Latin America, I would try to sit next to Dylan because he just makes me laugh so much. Their drummer, he's awesome. I miss him. I should text him actually.
He's the guy in the band I know the least, weirdly.
He's amazing. Yeah.
And I've been around him a lot.
I would sit next to him. We would eat dinner together.
Yeah.
We had a great day off in Costa Rica. We shared a meal together.
Oh, cool!
If he sees this, he'll laugh because he'll remember that night.
Kelly's the one guy. Well, there's two guys that I know can out talk me. Kelly and Luc Lemay.
Oh yeah,
those guys put me to rest. They just
put the mic down and walk away.
Let them go. Let them go. Exactly. We had I did a cast with Kelly and Paul.
I saw that in the intro, yeah.
And
Paul couldn't say a thing.
I had to say at the end, I'm like, Kelly, dude, you gotta let Paul answer a question, okay, man? Let him talk a little bit. That was the big complaint in the comments was, hey Kelly, it'd be nice if we hear Paul talk once or twice. So, but I know how that is because I'm a yacker too, and I get.
He's wonderful though. He's wonderful, and they're out on tour right now in Europe with Origin. And other bands, I can't remember the other package.
Yeah, I can't remember who they're out with either. They just started the tour, I think, today. Yeah. So how'd the Nile thing come together? You guys know each other pretty well, I would assume.
The band
before?
They have toured together before I was in the band. They did the States and Europe. But funnily enough, the tour came together because I had Carl on Vox and Hops, my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we finished up the whole episode and we were sitting and just shooting the shit on Zoom after I stopped recording. And I was like, hey, we should like really tour together. And he was like, you know what? That's a good idea. And here we are a year later going on tour together. So it really stemmed from me just shooting, a blank.
Just a hangout. Yeah.
Taking a chance at saying, hey, we're dropping a record. You just dropped a record. We should tour together. It makes sense to me. And it took some time to put together, but once it was all set, it's been rolling really smoothly. I'm really excited about it. It's like Nile, Cryptopsy, The Last 10 Seconds of Life, and Cognitive. It's a great lineup, and I'm really, really excited to get out there and share some of the new record. We haven't played any of the new songs yet in North America as of yet. So I'm excited to share a lot of Insatiable Violence, New Era Cryptopsy with everyone. And obviously we're going to play some classics because I like to go to shows and see my bands that I like play the songs that I want to hear too. So we know that, we respect that, and Cryptopsy's legacy is important to us. So we're definitely going to be playing some None So Vile tracks, but a lot of the new material too.
Talk a little bit about the concept of the album. I know you've done this quite a bit, so you can condense it because there's a lot out there. But...
I did so many.
No, I don't mean it.
I did so many interviews on tour and I would do it I would take a shower because we did a tour with Decapitated in Europe, right before the record dropped. So I did a whole bunch of interviews and I would take a shower, run to the bus, and do 2-3 interviews in a row because Will and Sebastian are amazing and they're good at booking interviews for me. And Chris, my guitarist, would step on the bus afterwards and be like, "Yeah, so you had a dream." This, that, just hitting all my bullet points.
Giving you shit. Oh, the
So here
bullet
it
point.
is.
Yeah.
Here's my bullet points. I had a dream in August of 2023, right before As Gomorrah came out, about a person that is fixing a machine. They work on the machine all day, and then at night they strap themselves into this machine, and the machine tortures them all night, and they love it, and they revel in it. And as they're being tortured, they're like analyzing the machine as to how they could tweak it to make it more efficient, more pleasurable, pleasurable, one of those words. And then the next morning they wake up and then they implicate those changes and try it out again. And then at night, the cycle just repeats itself, an insatiable violence. So I am sort of like trapped in this concept of the internet, social media. As Gomorrah Burns was about the internet and comparing that to Sodom and Gomorrah. This one is more so just focused on social media and the negative impact that social media has had on the human race.
Oh my
So
God.
I dive into topics like catfishing, body shaming, body dysmorphia, FOMO, online dating.
What's FOMO? I've heard
FOMO,
that.
the fear of missing out. So it's this feeling that
Oh.
you get when you see your
Yes.
friends doing something on social media, and then you feel like you're not as worthy as a human because you're not doing good things,
Yes.
which is a real thing. That
It definitely is. I mean, you're early 40s, right?
correct.
So I'm 59. So for me, the internet came into being when I was about 30-ish.
Yeah.
Roughly. 2000, 99, 98, 2000. The days when if you went on and pulled up, how do I say this delicately? If you pulled up an image of something that was a little erotic, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you pulled something up like that, it took like a day to download. To
Yes.
see it, you get the
It was
little,
this thing. Yeah.
oh man, did I just tell on myself? I think I might have been.
And then you get to the bottom, you're like, I don't even like this.
Man, I waited 12 hours for this in front of this computer screen.
You had to plan ahead if you wanted to wank it.
Yeah, or the early days of Napster and stuff like that. That shit seems so crazy now, because back then, to listen to an album that you wanted that somebody uploaded to LimeWire or Napster or whatever, literally it was an overnight 12-hour, 18-hour deal to download that. And now we have streaming at the push of a button, and it's immediate.
Yeah.
But this topic is so prescient because we live in an age where everyone is, where's mine at? I don't even know what I did with it. Maybe that's a good thing. Everyone's got their phone in their hand. I don't know what I did with that. That's kind of weird. That's weird. Everyone but me has their phone in their hand immediately, right? I think it's charged.
It's something that it's such an addict. I'm addicted to my phone, which is another reason why I'm addicted to social media. It's something I don't like about myself.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see that like screen time thing that you can look at.
Doom scrolling, which is a term.
And you always feel worse when you do it it's just, they're really, really good at keeping us on the platforms.
They really are. And
that's all they want. No matter what they're going to send us, their goal is to keep us on their platform because that's how they monetize us.
And I'm convinced, as you probably might be, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm convinced social media, especially now we have this Palantir stuff and all this stuff going on, I'm convinced we're falling back in. Well, maybe we never left it, but we're falling back into that proletariat serf control mechanism thing where
it's just it's definitely an easier way to just grab people,
where the elite can even further enslave. That's kind of how I look at it, and we are enslaved to these things to a degree.
For sure we are,
because of addiction to dopamine.
We have no control over it, and they do it in such a sneaky way. And that's why me and my wife, we will not let our kids have phones until they're very old.
Man, dude, my kids didn't get cell phones. My kids are quite a bit older than yours. My oldest just turned 30 and my youngest is 28. And fortunately, the oldest is kind of the addict in that she likes to be gaming online all the time.
Yeah.
And my other one, my youngest daughter, Maddie, a lot less she spends a lot less time online, so I'm happy about that. But as far as social media, my oldest one doesn't even have like a Facebook or an Instagram or whatever. I use Instagram a lot to communicate for the show.
Same. That's how it got me.
That's my excuse.
I know that's how it started for me. Yeah,
it's probably yours as well, right? And so the thing that I look at is like, why when I get up first thing in the morning, why the fuck is the first thing that I do is reach for my phone? And it's not to see what time it is. Generally,
what did you miss? Yeah,
it's what am I missing? What messages did I get that I gotta react to or respond to? That is a sickness. It really is.
So, yeah, I was listening to Randy Bly on the Jasta podcast, and he does, I think, 2 hours in the morning after he wakes up before he goes and grabs his phone, and that's something that I would like to implement myself. Right. But
it's hard to do.
It's insane.
It's hard to do.
They got it.
It's like trying to get rid of sugar in your diet. It's in everything.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, and I'm diabetic. I just turned diabetic about a year and a half ago with my other medical problems. But yet, man, the chocolate, it fucking drags me in and says, eat me. And I'm like, ah.
It is delicious though. Yeah.
So, with the tour, you're direct support, right? For Nile.
Yeah.
How long a set are you guys doing?
We are doing a 45-minute set. There is not much speech time. Everything's very organized, and we're advanced in technology, so everything is set to a click. So our set is basically mapped out as per the minute. So we got 45 minutes, and there's no taking our time or messing around. We want to play as many songs as possible to feed the people that
get in and crush heads and then get out. Yeah. How are you doing on time? Where are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm a talker, you're a talker. We could probably go for hours, but I'll try to keep it in the 45, 50-minute range here because I have some more stuff. When you're on tour, I heard you say that you're not, and you have the Vox and Hops thing, which we'll get to in a minute here, but clearly you like craft beer or you wouldn't be, right? Am I right?
Exactly. No, it's my vice. I love it.
But when you're on tour, though, I heard you say that you're not much of a partier anymore.
No, I can't party. I drink beers. I'll have a few beers, but I'm more of a zen, laid back. I'll have a few beers and then I go to my bunk and watch old movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're not into getting hammered anymore. It's too rough.
Well, sometimes it accidentally happens.
Accidentally.
Yeah, you never know. You know, sometimes you drink that 12% stout that you got lying around that you forget. You've forgotten how to handle yourself afterwards. But no, I don't like being hungover, so I try to avoid it. We tend to explore craft beer bars when we're on tour. So the window this is what really is. Craft beer bars close too early.
Yeah, they
do. They tend to close at 10, 11, and we can't get out of the venue until past midnight.
Yeah, right.
So what we do, Christian Donaldson and myself, is that we'll do sound check if we have a sound check, and then we'll go to a craft beer bar in the afternoon, and we'll have a beer, 2 beers, maybe small tasters, just to taste what these awesome establishments have. And then we go and we eat dinner, and then we play the show. And if we're lucky, we'll have some cans from that brewery for after the show, and then we'll just relax, and then the thing repeats the next day. So we like to joke around. If we're in a vehicle by ourselves, like a bandwagon or a smaller tour bus, it's just the 4 or 5 of us just sitting together with the crew, and we tell jokes and we have fun and we sit back and we relax. And then I go to my bunk and then I watch movies that I've already seen from the 90s that I've forgotten I've seen, and just try to relax. And
how do you sleep on the road versus at home? Is there a big difference for you?
There's a huge difference, obviously, because you never really sleep. You sleep okay on the road, yes, but it's never a very full night's rest. It's
like a deep REM sleep where you're...
No, it tends to be little chunks, and you wake up and you go to the bathroom, and there's noise or there's stuff. It's never a full night's rest unless it's one of those 12% mistake.
Yeah, then it's
and then you're not
comatose.
hitting REM. You're not hitting REM sleep when you're that drunk anyway.
You're just lights out, drunk.
Exactly.
drunk
So
sleep,
I do enjoy sleeping in a bunk. I love sleeping in a moving vehicle. I like to sleep in a moving vehicle. It feels like you're being rocked to sleep. It's something
Yeah.
that I really do like that. So all of that is great, but it's nothing like sleeping at home, obviously.
I'm curious about that. I mean, I think at my age now, I have a lot of sleep hygiene issues along with my health stuff, and I couldn't do it. Like, I mean, I've been on a lot of buses with a lot of different bands. And I'm like, man, there always seems to be something going on, and my ears would always be like, fuck, I can't,
Yeah, but we sleep with
earplugs.
Earplugs. It's just the way.
One other thing,
you fall asleep watching something, and then you fall asleep to the sound of your Bluetooth headphones saying "battery low."
Oh yeah, right. Or
that will wake
that
you up.
noise, that that sound, right? I also heard you mention too that you guys you do in ears on stage because you're to a click, right?
Yeah, love it.
Is Christian? Is he playing direct? Or
yeah, we have no amps anymore. Everything is all through.
He's using Sims then, okay.
Which is good and bad depending on the sound of the size of the room and the size of the PA. There have been nights where flow hits so hard.
Right.
So if the PA is not strong enough, there are moments when if a crowd is standing right in front of me that they're not hearing everything.
Okay.
So we have remedied that since we don't use the monitors, we flip the monitors forward and we use them as front fills.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Now, is he using like a Kemper or a Quad Cortex?
He is a Kemper.
Okay, yeah. Kemper.
He's team Kemper, and Ollie, our bassist, is team Quad Cortex.
I'm Quad. So,
but like literally, the new Kemper is this big. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The Nano amazing. Too. The Nano for Quad Cortex is tiny too.
It's unbelievable. It's like it's this tiny little bag that he drags around.
As a guitarist, though,
having the fill behind you miss it. Yeah.
It's still hard for me to get away from pushing air with.
He loves it. No, he was the strongest supporter and proponent towards us moving to the in-ears. It was a struggle to get the right IEM molds for our ears, but now that we all have it, we're all set and we're really happy with it. And it's amazing. It's like the having the click there and everything where you want it all the time in the same. It's always the same no matter where we are. Is a lifesaver. It's really, really nice. There's times like I think that I've made a mistake or I do make a mistake and I catch it so much quicker.
Yeah, because you're not dealing with all the ambient stuff out here.
I fall back and then I'll like watch because we're all egotistical monsters. When I come home from tour and I'm like, I watch Cryptopsy on YouTube. Yes, because obviously we're egotistical people. And I'm like, oh, that's that night that I messed up that song. And I go and I watch the part. And it's so not even noticeable because it's right there. We can bounce right back into the perfect pocket. So no, we're really happy. We have all the intros and it's like it counts us in so we can start and stop with no count-ins, and which is something that we like.
I think for a band as technical as you guys are, and where you're so reliant on
counting,
the music is so reliant on counts and
constantly counting, not as much as flow, but
which is kind of if you think about it, it's kind of anathema in some ways to like the 70s jam bands like the Grateful Dead or these long, Zeppelin doing a 40-minute version of Dazed and Confused where it's all improv. Like, you guys can't calculate. You guys are calculating. You're not improv guys.
Absolutely not. No, there's no. It wouldn't work. We're very, very like mechanical.
I challenge you guys here. Okay, I'm putting this out there in the universe because I know you like a challenge. I challenge you to go to Flo and Christian and your other band members and go, all right, guys, in the Limited show, let's break into fucking Freebird for like 10 bars, 12 bars.
See, no, but it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit because our set is like we push play and the set just happens.
Ah, man, you guys are no fun.
No, no. Christian does not like anything. He's not fun. No,
he's not. Yeah, I heard you talk about
he's
that.
The ultra hater.
He's like that.
He's the best. Yeah,
the negative dude in the band about everything, right?
He foresees any negative comment that comes out before the haters can get into us.
I can kind of understand that. I'm kind of like that myself sometimes. So,
But again, it protects us and keeps our level of integrity really high.
now I have to ask, when you guys were out with Kelly and Atheist guys, did Kelly do
Make
you
us
what
make us drink his drink there.
Yep. Did he make you drink the drink? Because he made me drink the drink
He loves
in
it. Yeah.
San Francisco, and I fucking hate that shit, man. And I
Jägermeister.
almost puked.
Kelly lives off of Jägermeister.
And Mountain Dew. It's Jaeger and
Yes,
Mountain Dew.
I've actually never. Yes, he loves Mountain Dew, but when we were in Europe, it's hard to find, and Latin America also. So Kelly likes Jaeger and Red Bull.
Yeah, the bombs or whatever they call them. Yeah,
That's
Jaeger
what he
bombs.
likes. So at the beginning, he always like encourages everyone to drink it with him, and he's really happy when we're like doing this communal ceremony. I would do it with no Red Bull because I don't like Red Bull. I would just drink Jaeger straight with him. But then he gets upset when like by the end of the tour, everyone really likes to drink his Jaeger.
Oh, and they steal it. It's like, who started this shit?
Exactly. Exactly. They're on stage. We can snip it. I'll just take a little sip. How about it?
That's
He
funny.
won't
That's
mind.
funny. All right. So the other thing with the live thing, and then we'll get to Vox, and then I'll get you out of here. The hair flip. All right. I mean, for you,
I'm team. I turn to the. It's funny because people do windmills.
you're a helicopter windmill.
Yeah, but I go to the right, my right.
Okay. You always go that direction.
Yeah, and some people go
Does
the
George
other way.
go left?
Oh, I don't know that. I'd have
I think
to.
George goes left. I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. At 42, is that getting harder? Do you feel that?
You always get a bang over, but like I have a tour coming up in a week at this point, just about. I have started headbanging during band practices just to
Work
get
your
the
way up
muscles
to it.
used to it again because it's just a muscle, right? But
Yeah. Well, it's like an athletic thing. You gotta
exactly.
really
So
stretch and get ready to get into it.
we stretch and we do everything we need to do. But I'm trying to. It's actually the first time I'm doing this. I'm trying to avoid a bang over, which happens like the second, third show. Like you're sore, and I'm trying to jump that. And
Do you ever get
foresee-
headaches? Do you ever get like really
From headbanging? No.
No?
From
Okay.
screaming back in the day when I didn't have the proper technique, yes, but not on Cryptopsy stuff. It was before that.
Okay, so you just brought up something that I had forgotten that I want to touch on. Your vocals. I sing kind of in the Lane Staley range.
Oh, nice.
That that's my thing. I have tried to do death metal growls, and by saying try, I really mean I've tried. It's just not something I can do.
Okay.
Because when I do it, I then can't talk for days afterwards.
Oh,
Literally,
no, that's not the right technique. Then.
yeah, it's probably not the right technique, and I don't think my vocal cords, in particular with what I'm dealing with, what we talked about before we came on live, I think something changed in the last several years with my vocal cords, and so like I used to be able to hit like Cornell and Jeff Tate highs.
Nice.
I can't touch them
Okay.
anymore. It's like suddenly one day I woke up and tried to do like I remember I was in the car trying to sing a Jeff Buckley song.
Oh, I love that.
And
There's a documentary coming soon about him.
I know. I'm stoked to see. Man,
Kelly loves Jeff Buckley too. I've drank beer and listened to Jeff Buckley with Kelly Schaefer.
Well, of course, because Kelly was. If you watch this, you were.
He has to watch it. We
come
keep
on.
talking about him.
Huh?
He has to watch it. We keep talking about
I'm gonna send it as well. I'll say here when you're lying in your bed, we're lathering you up here. But he promised to come on and talk about two of my favorite albums of all time, Grace and Euphoria Morning from Chris Cornell. And we were going to do, and I just never could lock him in. So I ended up doing them a month ago with my daughter. Those are two of her favorite albums. But so Kelly, I still love you.
Yeah, of course we all.
You stood me up, homie. But your voice, when did you realize you could even do this?
It was just a gradual thing. I grew up in the 90s, like discovering my voice. I wanted to be a singer ever since I was young. Discovered rock, heavier rock, early metal with my dad in the car.
If I could interject for 1 sec, who were your original sort of idols that you wanted to emulate or
as a young child,
as the first time I want to say
Steve Perry.
The fucking voice of hard rock AOR.
I grew up with that in the car with my dad. Steve Perry, 80s Bon Jovi, stuff like that. And then I guess as I explored getting away from my dad's music was the same time that nu metal was like popping. So anything that had a guitar solo, I associated as my dad's music, and I embraced nu metal.
Boomer music? Are we talking
Yeah,
boomer
we're
music?
to the point where like I thought like Dream Theater was older than they were, and
They're my age. They're my
anything with
age.
the guitar solo was ancient in my mind.
Okay, yeah.
So I really leaned heavily into Korn, but the one that resonated me the most because I felt like I could do it was Incubus, Science, specifically.
man.
That record. I really, really, really enjoyed
Wish you were here.
Brandon Boyd's vocals, and
Yeah,
I sort of could sing it at that age, and it just kept getting more and more extreme, little by little, to the Slipknot, and I was like, I can Mudvayne, I can never do that. I can't believe he can do that. I just didn't understand, and then I fell into the Mike Patton rabbit hole.
Oh man.
And LimeWire, back to that, Napster. My dad was a pirate and downloaded everything. So I asked him to download me Mike Patton projects, all of them.
Okay.
And he put it on a CD. And instead of putting it by band, he put it the songs alphabetically. So it would flop from Faith No More to Tomahawk, Mr. Bungle, Phantomas, the Dillinger Escape Plan EP that he did.
That's right.
And it would just be those all after another. And I'll be like, this is one guy that can do all of this with his voice. And that opened up a lot of doors in my mind of how I could push my voice. So that's really when I started doing a lot more harsh vocals. At that same time, I went to that band practice with a Little Fisherman hat, and we ended up playing, I joined the band. It was like a Kill Switch Engage worship band, so I had to do the harsh verses, the clean choruses, get into Lamb of God, trying to emulate Randy a little bit, more and more. And then I got Kill from Cannibal Corpse, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'd like to mess around with that voice. And then I entered Cryptopsy. So I wasn't a death metal vocalist until I had to be one. And The Unspoken King was me trying to be as brutal as I could be, trying to give the band what they wanted. Flo wanted something far more experimental, wanted to have clean vocals, I did my best death metal vocalist impression as possible. And then it's taken me years to feel comfortable and develop my voice and develop my technique to the point where I am now. And it just took many, many, many years of just messing around with my voice.
Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I got the impression that after you joined in 2007, right? So you're
correct. Yeah.
Coming up on 20 years.
20 years as the new singer.
Did you encounter a lot of backlash?
People hated us. They hated that record.
Okay.
They hated we don't like it. I go back and listen to it, and me and Chris cringe at it. It's not a Cryptopsy record. The band swung into left field.
In all honesty, I haven't heard it, so I'm not gonna.
It's very out there. It's
okay.
It was too experimental. A lot of people are messing with clean vocals now in death metal. A lot of bands are doing it, and they're becoming very successful doing it. Cryptopsy was once again too forward thinking and did it in a very strange way. I had nothing to do with the songwriting. I was just a vocal puppet. I stepped in and tried to do my best, meeting their expectations of what they wanted for the record. But I think the most detrimental thing that happened with that record was the band's reaction to the fans not liking it. And that was the most detrimental thing, is the fact that we had this like, fuck off. You don't like it, then go fuck off. We were not honoring the legacy of the band and nurturing it and taking care of the fans that put the band at the level that it was before that album came out. And the band definitely took a drop after that. And it took many, many years for us to climb out of that hole. So we're happy and grateful that the fans came back. And
you told a story at MDF. Was it at MDF?
Yeah.
That you guys did None So Vile, right?
We did Blasphemy at Flesh.
Or Blasphemy, I'm sorry. Yeah. And you said at the end of it, now I didn't see it, and I apologize for that, but because I know all the guys that I was with the exception of one, they all went to see you.
Yeah.
And we we hung for Sinmara. I'm kind of a black metal dude. I'm both black and death, but I really wanted to see his band because I figured I'd never get to see him again.
But I did thank the crowd. I know where you're headed with this, because we did play None So Violent in its entirety in 2017, and that was a night where I finally felt accepted as the singer.
Was that a struggle for you? I mean, in terms of
it was mentally, and but the band was always behind me, and Flo always believed in me, and we just pushed forward and grew. I grew up. I was 24 years old when I joined the band, so it took some time. I don't quit very easily, which is a good thing. I stick to things. I've been with my wife since 2002.
Awesome.
We just focused and worked through it, and luckily the band gave me time to grow.
Well, the new album, I will say, I think it's going to grow on me, and I think whether Cryptopsy becomes one of my favorite bands or not,
We'll find out at the Lilith show.
Would remain to be seen, but I'm really looking forward to seeing you live. You said you don't quit things, but you did quit something. Well, that's a nice
good try. Yeah, good.
I did there.
I had a podcast. Yeah, Vox and Hops. I started a podcast in 2018 that ran up until this June, just recently. I started the podcast because in the same year, Chris's studio is always doing really, really well. He's very busy producing bands all the time. My guitarist Christian, he produced Suffocation, Despised Icon, Ingested. He's always super busy and always has something going on outside of the Cryptopsy landscape. Ollie came to me and told me that he was going to join Cattle Decapitation that year, and then Flo told me that he had found this new singer for this project with Rune Eriksson, and it was David Vincent from Morbid Angel. So I was like, oh my God, okay, I have to find something for me outside of Cryptopsy, so I don't get jealous of my bandmates, them being successful, and me just sitting here watching them all do awesome things outside of the Cryptopsy world.
So we get back to the FOMO thing, kind of, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I started Vox and Hops. I was listening to a lot of podcasts during that period of my life. I started a podcast. The premise is simple. It's basically like comedians in cars getting coffee, except it's metal musicians in bars drinking craft beer. I love craft beer. It's a huge part of my identity. I love the Montreal, Quebec craft beer industry. It's something that I've been passionate about since early 2010s is when I started becoming very a craft beer enthusiast. And so I sat down and I hit up my friends and we shared a beer, had a chat. I remember my first interview was with Danny Marino, who was in The Agonist. And I went
Hold on. I got to stop you there. You just gave me a crazy segue, man. If I'm not wrong, I believe Danny Marino is related to one Frank Marino. Am I right?
100%. Yes, this is his nephew.
And Frank Marino is a fucking god tier guy for me. I know Frank. I've interviewed him twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
He is the most fucking killer dude ever. He's the original shredder of the 70s.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Nobody touches that guy in the 70s. Nobody. So that's crazy. Okay. So Agonist and Danny Marino. And
I sit with him. I sit with him and I'm so nervous. And he's like, dude, you've played Vakken. You can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You were nervous to hang with your friend and do really?
I'm like just running the interview side of things.
Were you doing it live in a bar or
no? It was just I went to his house and I had the recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, okay.
It was just chill. So I did that. I stockpiled 10 episodes and then I started releasing them in October 2018 is when it kicked off. And then it just rolled. It started doing really well. The numbers were good. It connected with people. I would do them in bars. Bars would invite me out, say, come and do the interviews here. We'll give you free beer. The craft beer enthusiasts and me loved that. So we started doing more and more. And then the pandemic hit. And that's when, I'm sure it was the same with you, everybody was home.
That's how my thing started. I was watching things like Sea of Tranquility. I don't know if you know who that is, Pete Pardo. He's very like me in that we both love extreme metal, but we also love classic rock. We also love jazz. Because I'll talk about Miles Davis on my channel.
That's cool.
I don't really give a fuck. If you don't want to listen to it, then don't listen to it. Don't watch it. I kind of
the beauty of having your own thing.
Yeah, for me, it sounds like we did the same thing essentially. You're a little better connected, but I'm pretty connected. And I just started hitting up people, and everyone was home.
Everyone's home. So, and publicists were forcing guests, like forcing artists to do something because they couldn't tour the records that they just dropped.
Right. So, I ended up, I talked about Luke. Luke came on because Kevin Huffnagel, who I'd met at shows, and Kevin and I are buds. In fact, he was my guitar teacher for a little while. Got Luke on, and Luke did like a 5.5-hour episode, right?
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
Steve Von Till, 4.5 hours with him.
Wow.
Marissa Nadler, 3 hours with her, because nobody had anywhere to go.
Yeah.
It's changed.
And it was fun to talk to people.
Yeah, well, you got to get outside your bedroom or your kitchen or wherever, because there was a lot of uncertainty, and whether the government was lying or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It was a very headspace type difficult time for 100%. A lot of people, and reaching out was the way to go. All right, I'm going to get outside of this, and thankfully for streaming, it's funny, when streaming first started, all my stuff is video. It's not like podcast tape.
Yeah.
And which I think yours was initially. Yeah, right?
Mine's all tape. It was more audio than video.
Right. It's like you, I was super fucking nervous, man. I remember Doug Pinnick, and I know Doug was coming on, and I was like pacing around going,
you got the questions all set up.
I
used to have questions.
Dude, I used to fucking script everything out. Now it's just go and run your fucking
bullet points. Yeah, but that's the comfort of it.
Yeah.
Publicists found me during the pandemic and started shooting me a bunch of artists. So I was excited. I got to speak to a bunch of bigger artists that were outside of my grasp.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the world came back and the podcast continued. I hosted some events, brutal events they were called, where like there was great craft beer and there was awesome bands that played. It grew, and then Cryptopsy came back, and Cryptopsy is like really busy.
Yeah.
Right now, we've announced that we're doing the States coming up, where I'm going to see you shortly,
right?
At that awesome venue, and then we're going to like Asia, Australia, New Zealand. We just announced that we're going to Europe after that, and there's more things coming that I know. So it got to the point about a year ago where I was doing the work that comes with running a podcast on tour, and I felt myself not having fun. So I sucked it out for another year and pushed through. And then I hit episode 500, the 500th episode, which was with Danny Filth.
Wow.
I wish that I had Danny Filth on the podcast right now to ask him some questions.
Oh man,
the interview would have gone differently.
That thing, that would be your highest ranked podcast.
If he opens up in the right direction, yes.
That's true.
Dropped the 500th episode and announced that the podcast is now on hiatus. But I learned so many things from Vox and Hops. My communication skills are far better. I can sit and talk with anybody. I have an amazing email bank. I'm sure it's the same for you. Like, you want to talk to someone, you want to find something, you put the band's name in, and boom, PR guy's there. Stuff like that is really amazing. And just my organizational skills, it's all things that I've applied to Cryptopsy now. So
some people are elusive, though. There's
yes,
because I'm not huge, and it takes a lot to build this, and some luck. I haven't hit the algorithm like I'd like to. For example, I don't know if you're familiar with Steven Wilson. Do you know that?
Yeah, I love him. Yeah.
So Steve's one of my good buddies. 30 years we've known each other.
I love him. Yeah, I'm a big porcupine tree.
Well, he was on yesterday, and so he's coming over in October, early October, hitting Philly and DC, and all that stuff. So, and we hadn't talked, we hadn't chatted in about a year-ish in that vein, and that. If you go look at Rick Beato, Steven Wilson's interview is like 500,000.
Yeah.
I'll maybe get 1,000 views on it, which I'm grateful for. But
I'm sure you asked different questions than Rick Beato.
Well, I know Steve very well. We've gone record shopping at Amoeba and blown massive amounts of money back in the 2000s. So, we've
I'm a big fan of him.
I've been on the bus hanging with him and that kind of stuff.
Gavin Harris is a sick drummer.
What's that?
Gavin Harris is a sick drummer.
Fuck. Yeah, just disgustingly sick. and all the guys in PT are all buds. Richard Barbieri's been on, Colin's been on, John Wesley's been on. He's a good friend of mine too. But and when I say good friend, I should caveat that, you know, I have Wes's phone number. I can call him, and we've talked offline many times, but we're not like in each other's life every day. It's not like an everyday friend.
There's those multitude of friendships, right? So,
yeah, the level of friendship's a little different than, you know, like my best friend that I talk to every day or every other day. But I don't know if it's for you. I sense you're a lot like me in that, the connectivity is really cool. The human interaction is really cool because it's all kind of based around or centered around our love for music.
Correct.
And and that's a mutual tribal thing, right? You know, the metal community, once you start to meet all these people, you're like, oh, these fucking guys are so cool, man. Like,
it's just interesting to speak to people that really understand the day-to-day thing that we as touring musicians do.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I speak to people at like my day job, they just think I'm on vacation.
Right. And your day job, interestingly, I wanted to hit on that.
Travel so much. You're so lucky you get to travel, they say.
Oh, yeah, but they don't understand. You're not sleeping, you're eating shitty, or
you don't see anything. You see, you're like, oh, you're going to India. I was like, yeah, I'm going to see the airport, the hotel, the venue, and then whatever streets are on
that you drive to and drive back to the airport. Yeah. That is the thing. It's you know, unless you're on like a month-long tour where you have a day or two off, and then if you have a day or two off, that's costing you money because you're not. You got to pay for the bus, you got to pay for the driver, you got to pay for the hotel room.
Exactly.
You know, and so I think a lot of people look at, you know, the Metallica thing is, it's a different universe from guys like you guys.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They fly home.
Right. Or even Steven Wilson at this point, you know, I mean, when Porcupine Tree, last time I saw them before they went on hiatus, the last regular gig, it was in Virginia, Richmond, and might have been 800 people at the show. Maybe they go away for 12 years. They come back. They play Chile. They're playing to 15,000 people.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, what the fuck just happened there? What did I miss? Like, I was there when there was 12 people in the room to watch them down at the TLA in Philly. It's like, what happened there? So, get you out of here in 5 minutes. We talked about influences. Like, what are you listening to these days? What's
I am surprisingly more obsessed than I thought I would be with the new Deftones. I'm a huge Deftones fan. I have been new metal child.
Awesome fucking band, man.
I really, I'm surprised at how much I like this new record because I listened to the singles when they dropped, which is something that I rarely do, but bands that sometimes I just can't.
Well, it's been 5 years, I think, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the last record, Genesis.
I did too.
I think it was called Ohms. Yeah, and Genesis is the first track. I like that track. So I had high anticipation for it. The singles didn't blow my socks off, but in the context of the record, they really worked.
I feel exactly the same way when I heard it. Yeah. What's your favorite Deftones album? Because I just did a deep dive with Jerry. With Jerry from
with Atheist, so he loves.
He's a huge fucking Deftones fan.
He likes Linkin Park more though.
Yeah, he does. He's and I will say, no disrespect, I am not a new metal guy at all. I have.
It's you were too old.
I was too old. One Korn CD, I believe, like a greatest hits thing or something. And I had that Mudvayne album with I'm Falling, is it called? I'm Falling? Or
yes,
something?
It's not LD50, it's the one after.
Like the End of the World or something about the end of the world or something.
Something like that.
That's it. I can't think of any other bands that I own other than the Deftones. I own every Deftones album.
Deftones, my favorite record.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that.
I have to go White Pony. It's just so moody, and it came out in I was going to college, CJEP. Here in Montreal, and it just resonated so deeply with me. And there's just banger after banger. And I had the copy of the CD without that Back to School song because they released that record with Back to School.
That's the one I had, the original one too. Yeah,
exactly. So that one for me for sure. Yeah,
we just did that deep dive a month ago, and I hadn't listened to a lot of that in quite a long time. Really immersed myself in it, and man, Koi no Yokan. That
Yeah, I
album
really
is
keep
just
all the
so
reviews of Food,
fucking
and people
killer.
keep bringing that up.
And Saturday Night Wrist.
Yeah.
That's my second favorite. White Pony's third on the list. Yeah.
What I do find interesting about the new record is that it sounds like it's not from now.
Yeah. They always sound like they're
Yeah.
not from. They
Yeah.
have. There's an otherness. There's a universe that Deftones created. A lot of it's Chino. He just has that amazing.
I did fall out of love with Deftones. This is true. I can say this. I was in love with this girl in high school, and she really liked the Deftones.
Okay. And then you split up and you hated
No. We never got. I was the best friend that tried to be with this girl all through high school, and I didn't succeed.
Oh, I know all about
that. I sort of rejected the Deftones for many years after that.
Dude, you're talking my life,
back
man.
in love with the Deftones because Flo loves the Deftones, and
does he?
He would put it on. Oh, loves them. He would put it on while like driving when we were touring back in when I joined the band. And it was still not resonating with me. But what brought me back to the Deftones was Palms, P-A-L.
Yeah, that's with the ISIS guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because
I'm a huge ISIS guy.
Same. So I got it. I gave it a chance because the ISIS dudes are in it, and that sort of got me back into Chino. And then I went to Crosses, and then I worked my way back.
I haven't checked out Crosses yet. I need to do that. Yeah, that was him, and who else was on that one?
I think a dude from 9 Inch Nails, but I could be wrong there. Yeah.
What's your favorite ISIS album?
Oh, Oceanic. I think All
right, I'm a team Panopticon, but just barely over Oceanic. Yeah. And I really love what's the one? It's got the honeycomb looking thing on the front.
Oh, is that the first one?
No, it's the one that came out after Panopticon. Oh man, I'm blanking.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, I'm a streamer. I was streaming them by that point.
I was very. I know Aaron pretty well.
Yeah,
and I met all the guys, been guest list stuff and all that stuff.
Nice.
And very very cool guys. I missed that band, man. There was something very special there because I like Sumac, but it's Sumac's
really noisy. Yeah.
Sumac's in that. Wow, I can't grasp all of it.
So noisy.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you all day. So I was worried that we wouldn't have much to talk about. I was not nervous.
No, we both have podcasts. We can talk for.
We know
I'm sure we'll talk about more. We're gonna finish and be like, oh, I should have said that, but we'll bring it up at the Lilith show, which is coming up really soon.
Yeah. Where do you start? Is it in North Carolina?
It is at the Chapel of Bones. Is it Raleigh? I can't remember.
I think it's Raleigh. You're right. Yeah.
That kicks off next Friday on I'm looking at the calendar, the 12th.
Let me do this real fast. I'll bring this up so people can see.
Yeah, it kicks off on the 12th and runs all the way until October 11th, I want to say. Yeah,
so that's a pretty long.
It's going to be a good, nice hall. It's going to feel good to be back out there performing. You know, we get you perform and then you come home and then you get back into normal life and then back out on the road again. It always feels great.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. One last thing. Sorry. There's the tour dates up right there.
Yes. And the first show is sold out. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's great. That's fantastic. Always good to hear that, right?
Yeah. It's Nile's hometown. So.
Well, true. That's true. Carl is a really nice guy. I'd love to get Carl on here.
Should. I'll introduce you if the opportunity arises.
That'd be killer. I met him at MDF before they played. Or after they played. Yeah. And they had a rough go at MDF.
Sonically?
Something was going on with Carl's
guitar rig.
Yeah, it was. They were 20 minutes late getting started, and people were getting pretty restless. Yeah. And then when they came on, the drums were so high in the mix that you couldn't really hear everybody else.
Yeah, festivals are really tough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a windy day, so the sound was traveling weird and stuff like that. But I'd love to get him on. Seems like a really sweetheart of a guy, really nice dude. I've seen them back when Dallas was with them back.
He loves to play guitar.
He's damn good at it too. Yeah. Last thing I wanted to ask you though was you mentioned your day job.
Yes.
And if I'm not incorrect, are you a teacher or I'm
an early childhood educator, so I work in daycares basically.
Oh,
so
okay.
I work with children from 6 months until 5 years old. I have been doing that. I graduated from early childhood education and joined Cryptopsy in the same year. So I've been doing that and working at the same establishment for all that time too. So they're great. They understand the artist aspect and let me go on tour.
Okay.
And I'm really, really grateful.
And your wife, does she dread when you go on tour? Your kids are what, in the like 9, 10 age?
No, a little bit. Well, yes, you're 7 and 9.
Okay.
It's we're a week out and
things get hectic.
No, there's always a lot of things to do, and she feels it. But we're very lucky to have a very strong support community around, like my parents and her
family,
parents.
right?
Come in and help out because kids are a handful and schedules are tough. But I'm mass cooking. That's how I cope with it. Is that I
Wait, you're doing what?
I cook like vast amounts of food.
Oh, really?
I just freeze it, and then they can. It's one less thing on her plate.
Are you the cook of the house?
I am. Yeah.
Nice, Mr. Mom. Michael
Yeah.
Keaton there. Yeah. I did that thing too, man. Unfortunately, my wife and I, my ex-wife and I should say, when we had kids, you know, we bought the big house and we were probably up to here strapped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not fun. Yeah.
Which probably was not the way to go, but we wanted to have the picket fence, the big, the 2-car garage, blah, blah, blah. And in order to do it, we had to work opposite schedules a lot.
So
she was in retail management. I was in HR management, day job. So it was kind of one of those things where, okay, you go to work, I go to work at night. That way we don't have $10,000 in daycare, right? Yeah. And it absolutely affected our marriage. No question. We became more like roommates than,
that's hard.
You know, soulmates. So that was tough. But
we do schedule date nights a lot.
That's great.
Whenever I'm home, at least once a month when I'm home, we do a date night. The kids will go off to my mom, should make her happy because she
that's awesome.
Kids, and then we try to reconnect. We try to do it as soon as possible after a tour because it's tough.
Yeah, you got to kind of get that back in the daily flow of reality versus
we talk every day, we FaceTime every day, but it's not the same thing.
Hey, you had last thing. I swear to God, I swear it's the last thing. You had mentioned somewhere along the line you've been working on a more melodic project.
I do. I recorded vocals for it in August. That's my part of it is finished. So I'm excited to share more about it, but I can't really talk about it too much.
You can't talk.
I did mention the band leader's name earlier in this conversation.
Oh, you did?
That's all I can say.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the podcast now because I'm not sure who the hell it was. It wasn't Dan, because I know Dan probably doesn't have time to.
Monterey? No, it's
not he probably doesn't have time to do.
But no, it's far more melodic. There's a lot of clean vocals, with and a higher register scream mostly. There's only a few.
Are we still talking metal here, or are we talking more?
Still metal. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not Journey. You didn't go to Steve Powers.
No. It's still extreme.
All right, last question. Journey, favorite album?
So that's hard because I grew up. My dad had like the greatest hits thing, so I can't. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. There's like I think my banger songs are probably mostly the hits, right?
Right.
But I think like Separate Ways is probably one of my favorites.
So Frontiers era, probably when they
maybe. I'd have to check.
Or Escape. Escape is.
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. Escape has stuff like Who's Crying Now, Mother, Father.
No, I'm gonna have to. I'll go and check it out. And
Stone in Love. Yeah. My favorites though are the first Steve Perry album, Infinity, man. With that, you got to listen to that whole album.
Okay. I'll do that later today.
It's fucking incredible.
Cooking the rest of the food that I'm praising.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you get out of here.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Talk all day. So hopefully we'll meet up in Lidditz. And
we will.
And you know, actually, what I'll do, if you look, do you see the private chat down there?
No. Yes.
Should be right down there. I'll give you my email.
Perfect.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I think.
And then we'll contact. I'm always at the merch after the show, anyways. Too.
Oh, you come out? Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But hit me up before the show, like the day before or something like that. And if you want, I don't know what your schedule is going to be like, but if you want, I might be able to pop down. And if you want to go
to a bar,
check out the area. There's some good bars there. Or record stores. There's a great record store that's maybe 5 minutes away. If you want to check that out.
You had me at bar, but
There's a lot of bars, right? Real local and shit. I
Good.
don't know.
I'll do some research before, and I'll let you know which one I want to hit.
All right, brother. And
Let's keep talking.
we're also in contact on IG too. So